Good evening, everyone. Another sighting of the so-called beast has been spotted here on Bray Road on Thursday night. Young sanitation worker Steve Kruger got out of his truck, pulling over across from Bray Farm to pick up a small doe. He heard a loud noise that rocked his truck. Turning around, he saw a very large creature staring back at him in the bed of his truck. Kruger described the beast as 7 feet tall with a large wolf's head on the body of a bear. Police are asking civilians to stay cautious and alert, especially driving at night down Bray Road.
Imagine you are going for a late night drive to clear your mind. Without thinking, you get a little lost and end up on Bray Road. You continue on hoping to find peace and quiet within yourself and a landmark to bring you home. This is where you are wrong. Bray Road is the home to a terrifying beast that you may soon be face to face with, bloody, feasting fangs and all. You're lucky if you survive to tell the tale.
The legend of the Beast of Bray Road goes back to the late 30s, where drivers late at night would claim they would see a wolfish man by the road. No one dared to drive down Bray Road at night all alone unless they were willing to seek out the beast. If you're brave enough, you will eventually find yourself at the mercy of this wolfish beast, snarling and hungry. On behalf of WSTC, I invite you to help uncover this mystery, shining a spotlight on its past and any creatures that may be lurking in the shadows. In 1999, an 18-year-old girl was driving down Bray Road near Delavan when she said her right tire hit something, lifting it up off the ground. She stopped and got out to see what she had ran over, but there was nothing there. She looked to the side of the road and saw a massive wolfish form, standing on 2 legs. She rushed back into the car, and as she peeled away, the beast leapt onto her truck, but slid off in the slick rain, and she sped home. The next morning on her car, she saw long, vicious scratches, as if made by claws. In every version of the story, the beast is described as a wolfish figure. Thick fur, either standing on all fours or on its hind legs. The wolf snarls and has large fangs, visible from miles away, striking fear into the hearts of any unlucky traveler. Humans' connection to animals is almost as old as civilization itself, with paintings and fossils of wolves alongside humans dating back over 16,000 years. Using animals as symbols with themes and messages has helped us understand and connect with the world around us. In many cases, we even depend on them for our own survival. Countless cultures around the world idolized animals as gods or as sacrifices to other deities. We projected human traits onto them and envied their strengths. The flight of birds, the strength of bears, the wisdom of an owl, but the most common native animal representation is the wolf. Everything they represent is synonymous with early civilizations moving in packs, hunting their food, and distinct social order. Werewolves are a staple of supernatural fiction, with countless examples of wolf-like creatures with human characteristics all throughout history. We as humans want to assimilate their powers and abilities. From the Greek myth of Lycaon to the Native American skinwalkers to our very own Beast of Bray Road. The earliest surviving example of man-to-wolf transformation is found in the Epic of Gilgamesh from around 2100 BC. However, modern werewolves as we know them today are believed to have originated in the early Greek legend of Lycaon, where Lycaon, the son of Pelasgus, angered the god Zeus when he served him a meal made from the remains of a sacrificed boy. As punishment, the enraged Zeus turned Lycaon and his sons into wolves, thus grafting his inner beast into his physical appearance. This wolfman turned his murderous rage onto anything in sight, similar to the sightings in Elkhorn, both becoming evil slaves of the night, obscured by darkness, waiting for their next victim. We can then look towards a shape-shifting character from Navajo tribal folklore. Among the Navajo, skinwalkers are like werewolves, evil witches who can transform themselves into the creatures of their choosing, such as wolf hunting prey in the fields, then transforming near the roads in hopes of causing mischief. This takes the modern werewolf and builds up upon the dark intentions and allows for many different appearances. Closer to home, in what Iowa Indians called the Nahanni Valley, another name for the northern Great Plains stretching from Montana to southern Wisconsin, there lives a creature called the Shunka Warakin, or Wahila, which is an evil spirit with supernatural powers, of which looks like a massive wolf that is said to steal dogs and rip off the heads of unsuspecting locals in the night. Wolves are powerful creatures, meant to travel and hunt in packs, just as humans remain in their communities within society. This legend delves into the taboo nature of the lone wolf, drifting from the path of civilization into the unknown, warning travelers the dangers of breaking off from society and venturing down this country road off the beaten path. As the dairyland of America, it is not surprising Wisconsin does not take kindly to predatory creatures like the wolf. Residents went so far as to openly hunt to exterminate the native wolf population, and did so by the 60s, remaining that way until their reintroduction in the 80s. Wolves now inhabit much of northern Wisconsin but remain absent from southern Wisconsin, leaving us to wonder if those that survived learned to adapt to avoid hunters even standing upright when they see humans. One night, a witness Mark Shackleman was crossing the fields when he saw a shadow. He squinted to see what it was, and it was a hunched form on all four legs, digging into one of the mounds. From the canine way it dug, it could have been a wolf or a dog, but even from far away, Shackleman could see that the thing was far too big for that. Suddenly it looked at him and stood up on two legs. The sleek, hairy body unfurled to over 6 feet tall. It had a shaggy canine face, but beneath the thick fur, the muscular body of a man. A low growl echoed across the field, and he smelled rotting meat. Shackleman saw fangs hanging down from its teeth, and its lips pulled back in a snarl. It growled at him, its speech half human, half beast. His heart beating fast, trying to control his breath, Shackleman stepped back. With sudden violence, the thing turned and ran off into the trees and was forever gone. Werewolf popularity became mostly known in the 2000s, but started in the 40s. Was the beast having the body of a werewolf to make it more popular? We can look at the famous Hollywood flick, The Wolfman, that came out in 1941, which we can thank for the spark of interest in werewolves within modern pop culture. Or we can look at the movie Twilight, that reinvigorated the urban legend for new generation of teens and preteens, with one of the main characters being a werewolf. The process of changing the autonomy of the beast to having werewolf qualities could be attributed to merely appealing to the younger generation and accounting for the uncanny bipedal sight. What is mange? Mange is a contagious skin disease caused by mites. There are two types of mange: Audicoptic and sarcoptic mange. Mites burrow into the outer layer of an animal's skin and form tunnels. Female mites lay eggs within the tunnels, and within days to weeks, the larvae develop, ready to repeat the cycle, causing the animal intense itching, varying degrees of hair loss, and potential infections leading to a foul, rotting stench. This strange disease can create very unnatural-looking wildlife and unusual behavior. This accounts for the fleshy body with a large cannon head and a towering height, along with the occasionally present putrid rotting smell. This interpretation accounts for the long lifespan and variety of descriptions and versions of the story, leading us to believe that descriptions of the body of a man and the body of a bear are one and the same. One night while driving along Bray Road, witness Danny Morgan noticed a wolf in the cornfield on 4 legs walking towards the road. He pulled out his phone to photograph the wildlife as he had never seen a wolf in the wild. He slowed, and when the wolf approached the road, it stood up on 2 legs and walked quickly across the road. He said it walked just like any human would, didn't stumble or look awkward. At this time of the sighting, the legend was already nearly 82 years old, yet all of the stories have only been of word of mouth, with little proof. Now that cell phones with cameras are commonplace, photographic evidence is a must. This evidence reinvigorates the legend for a new generation of investigators, improving believability. The low quality of the image suggests potential editing, yet it still allows the viewer to envision what this creature looked like and invites them to set out in the search of the beast themselves. This establishes a perfect niche of which the locals have capitalized on, from books to movies to drinks, and even used in the governor's winning campaign.
The beast of Bray Road still haunts locals in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. The bizarreness of the situation brings so much attention to the beast, and maybe that is what the beast wants. The beast will continue to reside along Bray Road as long as we know, staying hidden until it wants to be seen once more, waiting for the perfect prey.
Thanks for tuning in to WSTC. I've been your host, Summer Brown, reporting live from Bray Road, reminding you to stay safe and to never drive alone or pull over on Bray.
I didn't realize my shoes were on.
Mr. Schmidt, there's secrets and there's something in the corn. Thursday night, young sanitation worker Steve Kruger got out of his... Stop, that's so spooky. Okay, I have to restart now.
Okay. I